This is not going to be good. We're on the Carnival Pride, coming back from Central America, and there's a big snowstorm approaching the whole United States, and Baltimore port is going to have about 12 inches of snow. And 2 days ago I said the captain should have go to Bermuda or somewhere to hide out from the storm. And then they did not do that. They wait until Friday night when the Baltimore port decide the port is not even going to be open on Sunday for the ship to dock. Because on Sunday, that's the day the ship was scheduled to go back to Baltimore port, so the passengers can get off, and then the next cruise, which is a Bahamas cruise, the passengers can get on the ship. But since the Baltimore port closed its port and told the ship's captain not to go back to Baltimore port until Monday noontime. So now this Carnival Pride ship is scheduled to go back to Baltimore port on Monday at noontime. And since we did not go hide out somewhere, and we're riding right into the storm. And look at this. It is completely chaos on the ship. And the storm's not even here yet. It's only Saturday around noontime right now. And it's just gonna get worse as we ride the ship right into the storm. This is an old ship. And the ceiling lights and things are falling apart as the wind gust is blowing. And they just closed the swimming pool because, as you can see behind me, you can see how the pool is. It's getting really crazy. And then there's some kind of medical emergency, and the Coast Guard is telling the captain of the ship to drive the ship faster toward the United States coastline, like near South Carolina, so the Coast Guard helicopter can come and lift somebody off the ship. It's going to be crazy. It really is. They already closed off all the upper decks, and then they just closed the pool. One by one, things are going to be closing up on the ship, and the storm is just going to get worse. Right now, it's just severe, I don't know what you call this, rain, or it's a storm, and soon it's going to turn into snow, and it's going to be really crazy.
Our partners at the port have advised that we should not expect to dock Sunday, and have asked us to make plans to dock around noontime on Monday. We know you are looking forward to return home Sunday.
All right, once again, it's me, James. This is the second report about the Carnival Pride, and we were on a 14-day Carnival journey cruise to Central America, and on the way back, we hit the snowstorm of 2026. We did not go into the storm, that's a good thing, but we have met some rough sea, and some things happened, as I mentioned on my first report, but this is the second report. So what happened was after that night, and then the next day, the captain was actually trying to have the ship stay out in the Atlantic Ocean outside South Carolina, away from the coastline, and that, so this way we can avoid the storm, since we cannot go back to the Baltimore port a day later than originally was planned. We were supposed to go back to Baltimore port on Sunday, but instead, because of the snowstorm, so the Baltimore port told the ship not to go back until noontime Monday. So we kind of got stuck out there in the Atlantic Ocean for the time being. But as the captain of the ship was trying to stay away from the snowstorm by staying in the middle of the ocean, but there was a medical emergency on the ship, so they had to contact the U.S. Coast Guard. And what the Coast Guard wanted to do is to have the ship get close to the coastline of North Carolina and Virginia, so this way they can send a helicopter out to pick up the person that had a medical emergency. So we were lured, the ship was lured to drive toward the coastline, and as we're approaching the coastline, and the wave got stronger, and the temperature got lower, and so a lot of things happened on the ship. So anyway, about the U.S. Coast Guard's rescue. So last night, the U.S. Coast Guard sent out an airplane, and the airplane was circling around the ship out in the Atlantic Ocean for about an hour, and eventually, like around 8:30 p.m., the U.S. Coast Guard's helicopter did come out, and they did an airlift to rescue that person with the medical emergency all the way in the back of the ship, and the ship's security have sealed off most of the access and the decks to the back area of the ship, so nobody can see the rescue. But we did hear the helicopter, and we saw the helicopter lift back up and took off. So not much was being seen, and also it was done in the dark of the night in the middle of the ocean. So all we could pretty much see, there were people trying to watch it, but all we could see is the strobe light from the helicopter, because it was dark outside in the middle of the ocean. And then there were some other scary moments. such as the pool water explode. It was like the geyser at the Yellowstone Park. It just shoot straight up into the sky because the ship was moving a lot. And then there was a couple of doorways, one on each side of the ship, that gives you access between the buffet restaurant and the indoor pool area. And what happened is, I just step out the elevator and I hear a loud bang. So I went to investigate, see what was going on, and apparently something behind those doors was banging, and I don't know what it is. It was kind of spooky, you know, but I made a video of the banging, and when you're actually standing there and you can feel the vibration, it was a lot more scary than just what you see on the video. So I don't know what caused the loud banging, and I don't know. You know, it's kind of like a paranormal experience. I'm not saying the ship is haunted. I was fine in my room, and there were, you know, but the bang was really loud and scary, and also more ceiling lights are falling out of the ceiling on this old ship as the ship was rocking. And then the next morning, we finally made our way back to the Baltimore port, as you can see. Let me show you. So the ship did stay away from the big snowstorm of 2026. But when we got back to the port, there are snow everywhere. That's the city of Baltimore in the background, and Highway 95. And you can see they plowed the snow so people can get off the ship. But there are piles and piles of snow everywhere. So on the way back, to Baltimore port, we have to go through the Chesapeake Bay, which links the Atlantic Ocean to Baltimore, to the city of Baltimore. Chesapeake Bay, I never seen anything like that before. There were ice sheets all on the top of the river. Chesapeake Bay has officially turned into something like the glacier in the Greenland or Alaska. So this cruise is nothing less than a Carnival Journey cruise, because not only we went to Central America and we saw Panama Canal, and also it is like a Alaska cruise. I saw the glacier. I saw the ice chunks in the water. It was an amazing experience. So since there's so much snow out there, there's no way of us getting home. So I just booked the next cruise on the ship. So now we're doing a back-to-back cruise. First, 14 days Central America, and now it's gonna be another, it was supposed to be a 7-day cruise, but it's shortened to a 6-day cruise because the last cruise that we were just on, it came back to Baltimore a day delayed. So now we're on a 6 days Bahamas Caribbean cruise. So that's everything that happened on the Carnival Pride during the snowstorm of 2026. The city of Baltimore is behind me, and there are snow everywhere. So that's pretty much it for now. And please keep on watching my video on my YouTube channel, JHAO33, at JHAO33, and also my postings on my Facebook page, James Hao, James H-A-O. So check me out, and there are more cruise videos coming up. And then there are also each one of the port that we stopped during our 14-day Central America Carnival Journey cruise. All the videos gonna be on my my YouTube channel, and I post a lot of pictures on my Facebook. So check me out, and that's it for now.